Hey guys, this is Charlie. I'm back with another tutorial for Definitive Entertainment. Today we're going to go over 5 steps for mixing techniques for vocals. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. I've got a cover song I'm doing of a Red Hot Chili Peppers song. And so let's go ahead and just listen real quick and get a feel for the mix.
This is the place where all the junkies go, where time gets fast but everything gets slow.
Okay, so it's not at a terrible spot right now. I've got the instruments kind of mixed together. The vocals are just plain. So let's go ahead and get started with the first step, and we're going to solo our vocal tracks. So as you're going through your vocal tracks, you're going to notice little sounds you hear, especially if you're doing home recordings. The dogs might be barking. You may hear a cough here or there, the sound of the air conditioning turn on. Right there, I found a nice little cough. So you just want to go through and trim up your tracks. So right here is where I inhale right before the vocals, and you generally want to keep the sound of you inhaling. You don't want it to sound totally artificial. So what we're going to do though is we're going to go right here, edit, split it playhead, and just go through your track and cut off everything that's not what you're trying to hear. I've already done it for the most part, but any areas between where you're singing, where it's just going to be noise, go ahead and go through and just cut these out. And a shortcut is Command T if you want to go ahead and just split that way. It'll be a lot quicker. Okay, great. So for step 2, we're going to go up here and set up a cycle.
This is the place where all the junkies go, where time gets fast but everything gets slow.
So depending on the kind of music you're doing, there are presets that can help you out here. So in the Logic vocal presets, what I like to do for rock music is generally compressed vocals. And this is where we're going to go from here. We're going to kind of branch off into compressed vocals. If you're doing acoustic guitar music, you may want to go with natural vocals. They have a nice warm reverb. If you're doing rap music, you may want to do edge vocals.
This is the place where all the junkies go, where time gets fast but everything gets slow.
So you can already hear it's cutting through the mix quite a bit more. So step 2 is choosing a preset. Okay, great. So for step 3, we're going to click on our track and go ahead and click on the mixer view up here. And it's going to highlight the track we just clicked on. Now double click on the EQ box, make sure it's turned on, and make sure the analyzer's turned on. Okay, so there's 2 important parts for the EQ. One is bringing down the ugly frequencies so we don't hear them, and the other part is bringing up the frequencies that we like to hear that separate vocals from the rest of the instruments. So just for an example, let's play our vocals. Let's pick a note here, make it really slim, and we're going to try and find a spot that sounds bad, and it'll sound kind of nasally and metallic. You'll hear it immediately once we find it.
This is the place where all the junkies go.
So you'll hear that really high radio, like old radio frequency. So once you found that spot, bring that directly down from where it was. So we're going to take that out of the mix, and it may not be that audible to you right now, but when all the instruments come together, it's going to really help separate out your vocals. I can sort of see where my vocals lie.
This is the place where all the junkies go, where time gets fast but
It sounds like the sweet spot on my vocals is about 300-400. Just listen to how it sounds here
this is the place where
versus
all the
over here.
junkies go, where time gets fast but everything
So once you find the sweet spot that you want to boost, just go ahead and let it go about 5 decibels up. So about right here. So we've brought down the really ugly, nasally, metallic frequency, and we've brought up the part where our vocals are sort of creamy in the sweet spot, if you will. So that's step 3, is bringing the ugly frequencies down and the nice frequencies up in the equalizer. Great, so step 4 is compression. And what I like to do with the compressed vocals is actually take out 2 of these compressors. And right here under this channel EQ, we're going to click on that, go to Dynamics, and we're going to add a multipressor effect. And what this allows you to do is solo certain frequency ranges. And so this is just helping you find more of the sweet spot of your vocals, kind of like we were in the equalizer. Again, if you're male, you're going to find it mostly in the frequency range number 2. So let's just hear what that sounds soloed by itself.
This is the place where all the junkies go, where time gets fast but everything gets slow.
Okay, so we definitely want to bring that one up, and then just go through each frequency range one by one. And yeah, generally what you want to do is turn down the lowest and the highest frequencies, because that's just a lot of the stuff that is going to muddy up the other tracks. Like, you can't even really hear this. Listen to this. It's just really low, and so that doesn't help your vocals at all. All it's going to do is muddy up your bass track later. So we're going to take that one down, and the same thing with the highest frequency. That's not a great sound for your vocals, but what it would do is it would muddy out your hi-hat and your piano and your other mid to high range stuff. So we're going to bring up your 2 mids and bring down the outers. And let's just hear what that sounds like.
This is the place where all the junkies go.
That's what it sounds like without it.
Fast, but everything gets slow.
And then with it. So it's much more clean. It's cutting through the vocal mix without muddying up other instruments, and it just makes the whole mix sound great. So now step 5, we're going to revisit equalizer, and we're going to set our levels so the vocals are sitting in the mix with the other instruments. So let's go ahead and hear the vocals, the entire verse through, in the context of the other instruments.
This is the place where all the junkies go, where time gets fast but everything gets slow.
And so what some people like to do is just loop that verse over and over and take the vocals out. Just start them totally dead silent at -100 dB and add it up to taste until it's right where you like it. So let's go ahead and try that.
Where time gets fast but everything gets slow.
So I think this is about where I want it. So that sounds pretty good. What I'm going to do is go back to the equalizer and turn up some of these highs, because I feel like we're competing a little too much with the bass. Okay, let's see what that sounds like.
This is the place where all the junkies go, where time gets fast but everything gets slow.
Okay, great. So now you can tell the vocals are cutting through the mix. They have enough volume and compression added. So those are the 5 steps. Good luck, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you.